Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is George Uman and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about My Dress Up Darling Season 2 Episode 8. So, what did I think about this week's episode? To be honest, I love this week's episode. I thought it was great, and the main reason was because we finally get to see the introduction of Akira, a very controversial character to say the least, at least at this point in the story where she gets introduced. There's a lot of mystique around her character, a lot of questions, a lot of theories regarding her, because right now, as we've seen in the anime, there seems to be some sort of tension around Marin and herself, specifically from Akira's part, where she seems to be not cool with Marin at all. Every time we see an interaction between the two, she seems to be pretty tense slash very off-putting about Marin. We don't know exactly why, but this is something that for anime onlys, you guys have a lot to see. Now, before I go any further with this week's episode, I just wanted to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my anime and manga, as well as all my Dress Up Darling content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's talk about this week's episode. So this week's episode starts off where we see pretty much Marin and Gojo. They go to the convention that they talked about last week's episode, and we see that Marin, they separate. Gojo goes to meet up with Akira, and Marin goes up to meet up with Shizuka, and we see that they're vibing. They're like, "Oh my God, you got a camera, Marin," and you see that Marin's like, "Yeah, I got the same one as you," because of M for Marin, and we see that they're gonna meet up with Amane, but as you would think, Amane, the beautiful cosplayer that he is, he is absolutely killing it. He has a big line of photographers wanting to take pictures of him. We see they're all fanboying over him, and we see that Marin and them are like, "Oh man, like Akane is very popular," and you see Akane is just like dead inside. It's like, "Oh my God, I'm being nice, I want everyone to take pictures of me, but like, at this rate, I'm never gonna be able to meet up with them." And this is where we finally see that Marin meets up with Mane, and she's like, "Oh my God, you look amazing." And for somebody that really was fangirling over Amane, that would be Shizuka. Shizuka was all over the place for Amane. She was like, "Oh my God, he's beautiful, he looks fantastic." And we see that pretty much she's fangirling all over Amane, and she pretty much is like, "Hey, can we take pictures?" Like, "Yeah, no problem." And this is where we see that, like, "Oh, well, your line is huge." She's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Well, this is why you have to do a cutoff line." And she's like, "What?" Amane's like, "What are you talking about?" And this is where Shizuka, a photographer herself, she explains, like, as when these situations happen, you always want to have somebody like cut off the line, so there's no more, there's not an excess of people. And as she does that, she eventually like, "Okay, I'll cut off your line." So they cut up the line, everybody takes their pictures, they're all vibing, and Shizuka's just like fangirling over Amane. It's hilarious. We see that pretty much they introduced Shizuka introduces them to her friend, which is Miyako, which is a cosplayer that also is doing crossplaying. We see similar to Amane, where it's a dude cosplaying as a girl. In this case, the opposite thing, it's a girl cosplaying as a guy, and it's like from this basketball manga / anime. We see that she's like cosplaying this guy, and Marin and Amane, they're like, "Oh my God, you look amazing." And they're just vibing and whatnot, and Shizuka's like, "This is heaven, a girl cosplaying as a guy and a guy cosplaying as a girl. I'm in heaven." It is hilarious. Shizuka's always wild, man. She's always caught me off guard with her little exchanges of dialogue. It's always hilarious to see. But as all that was happening, we see that eventually we cut back with Gojo and Akira's first time meeting. And we see that pretty much they're both shocked about each other's appearance. Akira was expecting a girl because the name of Gojo's name, and Gojo was expecting a guy because of the way that Akira referenced herself in her profile. So it's a nice little comedic moment. But as we see that she pretty much starts explaining, like, because Gojo's like, "How do you do your props?" It's like, "Oh, I do them like this, and she explains, like, "I just do swords and stuff. It's not that great." And Gojo's like, "No, you do an amazing job. For me, it's amazing." And we see Gojo's like, "What kind of character did you cosplay last time?" And she's like, "Oh, it wasn't a character from an anime or manga. It's like an original character." And this is where the cool moment of the episode happened, where we actually see this little like cut to informative video of one of Shizuka's friends, which by the way was not in the manga, if I believe so. I don't believe ever reading this. We see that pretty much this Shizuka friend, her name is Aoi. She serves as the exposition for all this stuff that's going down. She explains like about original characters, why cosplayers do this and why not. We see that Akira starts telling Gojo like, "Okay, well, yeah, I'll teach you whatever you want to answer, whatever questions you have. I'm more than free to answer them all. If you want to learn more about me, about my props and whatnot." And Gojo's like, "Oh, cool, I got all these comments that I want to read out to you. This is everything I wrote." She's like, "Oh, like yeah, I didn't read all of them. It's like, yeah, no worries, I'll read them out for you. And it's like Kara's like, oh no, and it's like, like Gojo probably wrote a whole novel. So it's hilarious just seeing how excited he is for this. But as soon as he gets cut off, we see that Marin calls him on the phone. He's like, hey, where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm actually still with Akira, like talking. He's like, okay, I'll meet up with you guys. It's like, actually, I can see you from here. And Gojo's like, what? It's like, yeah, look up. And we see that Marin's like waving at Gojo, and we see that she is like from a second store or a third store building or something, and she's talking to Gojo, and she's like, hey, look over here. She's waving, and as she's doing that, we see that Akira looks at Marin, and she's like something's wrong with her. Something's like off-putting about how she looks at Marin. She's like kind of like oh. Like, she doesn't feel comfortable, I guess you could say. And as all that is happening, we see that eventually she comes down there, and she's telling Gojo, like, hey, Chizuka and Miyako, like, they're inviting us to, like, this cosplay after party. If you guys want to go, like, just to chill. He's like, yeah, I'm down. And this is where Chizuka comes down, and with Marin, she's like, oh, wait, it's Gojo. Like, oh, she was the guy that Marin's friend is actually a boy. She's like, oh my god, a schoolboy, a high school boy. Never change, please. And she's like fangirling. He's like, Miyako, questionable behavior, first of all right? Nah, but in all seriousness, it's pretty much just like wholesome, and she's into her little anime characters and whatnot, so I'll let it slide. Shizuka's not sus, alright? At least, I don't think so. But what we see pretty much is that as she is looking at Akira, she sees that Akira is acting very off-putting, and she's like, oh no, and then she proceeds to text her friend Miyako. It's like, hey, this is bad, like, we gotta, like, get out of here. And because Akira and Marin cannot meet, and you're like, wait, what's going on? And this is where we see the episode they go to this cafe or like place, and they're chilling, they're eating. And this is where they explain that Miyako's like, yeah, she's off like her cosplay, so she looks like a girl. And we see that she's like, hey, you have this plushie. She's like, yeah, it's a plushie from like my cosplay that I was doing. And she's like, yeah, I bring him all over the place. I talk to him, especially when my work gets very stressful and I want to like vent, I have him. And it reminds me of my happy place. And you're like, what? And then Marin's like, yeah, I got my own little thing, and it's like a Labubu looking thing. So it's just fun. It's like a little fun exchange. But the great part about it is that Gojo was like relating to my Miyako, because he's like, oh, she also talks to a doll and carries a doll around. I'm not a weirdo. So that was great. It was great seeing Gojo just like be super wholesome about this. And how the episode starts nearing its end is that we see that pretty much as this cosplay is going to go down, because apparently Chizuka's like, yeah, one of our friends called off. She can't go to this shoot that we're gonna do, like a cosplay shoot. We're gonna do this coughing game, and it's like, oh, we're all gonna dress like nuns. And fun fact, the person called off, I guess that she was not gonna be able to go, is actually the character that was giving us the exposition. The Chizuka friend, the Ai, I think that's her name, Ai or whatever. So she's like, oh, I can't go, and you see her all crying too in the scene, which was hilarious. Nice little touch that the anime added. But as we see is that they're like, oh, we're down on people. We actually need like 7 people, and we only have like 3 here. Akira, and then Chizuka and Miyako. We still need like another 4 people. And then this is where Giga Chat Amon is like, hey, you need people to cosplay? I'm all down for it. Let's do this. And they do the little Giga Chat meme, the handshake, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Predator one. The one they're like, oh. So it was hilarious, the Predator handshake. And they're just like vibing. It's like, yeah, we'll do this. And we see that pretty much Marin's also like, oh, I would like to go, but like, I'm in a diet and I can't really do cosplays right now. And then they're like, well, it doesn't matter, because like you can just wear like the clothes on top and it's fine. Like, you don't have to make it man-made. Like, it's pre-made. Actually, we're all buying our pre-made cosplays from the same spot. So like, just buy the wig and stuff. Like, okay, I got it. So then they're like, okay, yay, I get to go, sweet. And this is where Akira's like snapping. You see like, she, the aura of her. And this is where Miyako and all of them are like, oh no, Marin and Akira are going to do this cosplay event. It's not going to be good news. And they're like, okay, well, we got 2 people, but we need 2 more. And then Marin's like, I got this. Let me call somebody. And Gojo's like, who are you going to call? And surprise, surprise, we see that she called Juju. If you guys forgot, she was in season 1. She was the one cosplayer chick that Gojo got a little bit too close with. Let's just say that. He got a little bit too much of a view of her. But yeah, she pretty much is like, hey, what do you want? And that's how the episode ends. So Marin's like recruiting her own Avengers of cosplays. So I love to see it. Great episode overall. But with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's episode? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more My Dress Up Darling, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.